All right, wherever you are in the world watching this video, in a few hours tonight, UFC 302 goes down. You know this, we're all waiting for it. It's an incredible main event. And the main event, Islam Makhachev once again defending the belt against Dustin the Diamond Poriier in potentially the last fight.
I'm not going to climb the ladder again.
And you've probably seen my analysis so far, right? We all love Dustin Poriier, and Islam Makhachev more than likely wins this fight, but there's never anything given. There's nothing ever certain in mixed martial arts. And sure, Islam Makhachev, he's got the wrestling, he's got the pedigree, he's got the pound for pound #1 title, but he's also got a staph infection. And that is something that, hold on a minute, it's making me like, whoa, stop the press. Islam's got a staph infection, and this is history repeating itself once again. What am I talking about? Well, first of all, I'm not saying right now that Islam Makhachev loses this fight, but I am saying it's something to consider. It's something to look at, because if you look at Dustin Poirier's last fight against Benoit Saint-Denis, which was the win that got him this title fight, that made him your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. He's the top of that list. He's up there with Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, and there's a few others as well. Dricus du Plessis is one of mine right now. There's a lot of great fighters, but Dustin Poirier is at the top, right? He's one of everyone's favorite fighters. And so is Islam. Islam's incredible. Nothing against Islam. But what Dustin did, he went out there, he got ragdolled, he got beat up, he got taken down, he got kneed in the face, he jumped for a few gillies.
Don't be silly, jump to gilly.
He got elbowed, he got dropped, and all the rest of it. But then he came back and he got the stoppage and he got the win and he got an emphatic knockout. He dropped Benoit Saint-Denis, put him to sleep, and put an exclamation mark on that victory. After the fight, Benoit Saint-Denis came out, not trying to take anything away from Dustin's win, but said, listen, I had a staph infection. When I was sparring, I got this weird thing on my face. It turned into staph. I was on antibiotics and I didn't feel myself. I got very tired. Come round two, I felt incredibly weak, right? And it was because of the staph infection. That sounds like an excuse. And it is kind of an excuse because he chose to step into the octagon. However, it probably did have an effect. It probably did take its toll. It probably stopped him from getting into that next gear and affecting his cardio to go 5 rounds. Or it was his inexperience because he didn't pace himself and he was emptying the tank in the first round. We'll never know, okay? The only true person that knows that is Benoit Saint-Denis, a man that I have tremendous respect for. Now, Islam Makhachev, let's get back to the main event. Islam Makhachev has got staph on his knee, right? And there's a few people talking about it. And Conor McGregor, of course, is having a right go. Wait till you see this. Conor McGregor reacted to Islam Makhachev's suffering a potential staph infection ahead of his 302 title defense. Staph, again, this inbred, however, lives with staph. His team is infested. Make no mistake, scruff balls. Whatever you're into, I suppose, he still subs Dustin in the first. In the first, that's interesting. Then he goes on, use absolutely scruffy Fs. I'm sick of yous. Wash your effing self. Wash your clothes, wash your mats, and do it every effing day. You scruffy okay, you might want to bleep that out, John. Look, listen. McGregor has a problem with the whole team Khabib. Okay, Khabib, but however you want to say it. It's Habib, I apologize. It's not because they're scruffy. It's not because they don't wash. And it's certainly not because they're inbred. I don't even need to say that. It's because when you're in sweaty environments, stuff like this happens. I'm actually recovering. You can see a bit of squidginess on my elbow. I got a staph infection recently. I was hitting pads in Manchester with my old mate Daz Morris, and I had a little cut on my arm and a bit of something, bacteria got in there, and it swelled out like this. I had to get on the antibiotics straight away. But I'm not fighting tomorrow night, okay? And that's almost gone anyway. And it didn't cause the skin to break. That's when the staph infection is getting really bad, and you've really got to give it some special attention. Now, Islam was asked about this staph infection at the press conference yesterday, and he put everybody's mind to rest. Let's have a listen.
Question for Islam. Everyone on the internet yesterday diagnosed you with a staph infection. Are you 100% healthy coming into the fight? Because Dustin took care of business with Benoit with the staph infection.
Don't worry, guys. I have very well training camp. Nothing bother me, and I will be ready 100% Saturday night.
Nothing's going to bother me. I'm going to be 100%, and nothing will bother me Saturday night, and he still plans on winning the fight. And look, listen, I'm not doubting Islam Makhachev one little bit, and he's the type of guy that will be able to push through this. Islam Makhachev is a man that trains so hard. He's got Khabib by his side. I spoke to Bilal Muhammad. He told me about the environment in those practice rooms.
Yeah. It's like an army when Khabib walks into the gym. Like, you know, beforehand, we're all sitting there stretching out, talking. But when he walks in the gym, everybody lines up. He tells you, yo, you're sparring in the cage, you're sparring on the mat, you're doing this, you're doing that. There's no joking around. And if you're, even in the warm-up, if you're doing like a bear crawls or crab walks or something, if he sees you going soft, everybody does it again. If he sees you not, not fully going at it.
They used to train at the American Kickboxing Academy with Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez, Luke Rockhold, right? You can all talk shit about Luke Rockhold, but he was up there with a team of killers, okay? There's a reason why there were so many champions coming out of that gym. These guys train ridiculously hard. Islam Makhachev, staph infection, no staph infection. I do believe he can push for 5 rounds, but is this the silver lining? Will this give Dustin Poriier his long-awaited destiny? Could this be the reason for why he's going to go out there and probably shock the world? Conor says Islam still subs him in the first, right? I don't know about that. I don't know if he subs him in the first, but he's going to go out there in round 1. He's probably going to get the takedown. He's probably going to get top position, take the back, whatever. But Dustin Poriier, if he can get out of that first round, if he can make it to the second round, the third round, take him into the championship rounds, into deep waters, will that staph infection, well, that's when it starts to take its toll. Is that when it will start to really drag on the cardio system, on the strength, on the power, on the ability to take Dustin down to the canvas? We don't know, but it's certainly something to think about. It's certainly something to consider. If you're putting a bet on this tomorrow night, right, you might think, hold on a minute, Dustin Poriier by guillotine. Maybe he does it. Maybe he jumps the gilly and he gets his first ever one in his championship fight and his last ever fight, and he goes home as the champion of the world and retires right then and there. I don't think he's going to retire. I don't think he's going to retire if he wins. If he loses, it's going to be a sad day. He's going to put the gloves down on the octagon canvas. The crowd is going to go absolutely mental. Islam Makhachev is going to be nothing but respect and admiration and a true testament to the martial arts spirit, because Islam's a great person. He's a fantastic human being, and he's a tremendous ambassador for mixed martial arts. But if Dustin does it, shit's going to hit the fan. And if he does it, I do believe it's going to be maybe because of the staph infection. It's going to slow him down. So I can't wait for this fight. It just made it even more interesting. Of course, co-main event, Sean Strickland. Here's the thing, guys. He's going to go out there. He's going to do his thing. He's probably going to jab his head off. Sean's probably going to jab his way to a victory. It's only 3 rounds. Paulo's got to get on him. He's got to get on him quick. He's going to try and land those big bombs. Strickland says that it's basic, but it's powerful basics, and it's basics that win fights. And Sean Strickland is the master of the jab. He's got a beautiful jab. That's the most basic thing in all of mixed martial arts, in all of boxing. But let me tell you, it's one of the best weapons a good fighter could have. And it's still crazy to me that all this time mixed martial arts has been going, the UFC has been around for 30 years. People still don't use the jab enough. I'm not knocking Sean Strickland for talking about the jab. The jab's a wonderful thing. It's the key to the door. And that's how Strickland does it. He jabs, plays it cool, plays it safe, gets the timing, gets the rhythm, busts them up, damage the nose, water the eyes. It's the key to the door, because then you follow it up. 1-2, 1-2 left up, right hand. You back them up, you hurt them, you take them out. But that's what Sean's going to do, right? And he's probably going to use that jab to get a decision. I can't see him stopping Paulo Costa. I can see Paulo Costa landing some big shots, some spinning wheel kicks of some sort, or maybe just winging up those left high kicks. Regardless, I can't wait. But what do you think about this staph infection? No problem, nothing to worry about. Just another day in the office for Islam Makhachev. Or will Dustin Poriier realize the lifelong dream, retire as the champion of the world? What a story that would be. Regardless, I'm live streaming it later, so make sure you check it out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, ring the bell. See you soon.